Hello everybody and welcome to the channel, and today's Thursday, so after 2 weeks of hiatus for the holidays, we had another dev stream, so I'm here to help condense it for you and talk about the important things that I felt like were discussed in the dev stream, and share my thoughts on that with you, and you share your thoughts back with me on it. So here we go, let's talk about it. So one of the first things they talked about was the PTB, and again the PTB is the public test build, and it is an alternate version of the game it's like a separate server, a test server version where you can try out the game. We know that this emblem system is coming, which is going to change the way games are scored and players get pips to rank. They're rehauling all of that, but before it goes live, they want us to test it on the public test build server. We don't earn any points for it. It's just for them to accumulate data and see how it works, and for us to try it out, give them feedback before they push it live to everyone on console as well, so that we can like guinea pig it for them and see how it works, if it's working the way they had intended. We had been told that this was probably going to happen in January, but now they said that the PTB, which was greenlit and was supposed to be going out to us, has been delayed because they want to give us the next chapter of the game first. What? There's another chapter of the game coming? A new chapter? That's pretty exciting. I mean, when you think about last year, where we had to wait from Michael Myers' release in October to, I believe, May for the Doctor, if I have my timeline right there. That was a big gap between new chapters. To have one already this close to Freddy, possibly this month, is very exciting. We do know that Matthew said he played on a new map recently, so I think this chapter's pretty close. We might see this new chapter by the end of the month, which is quite exciting. Will it be free? Marketing will not allow them to say one way or another. Personally, I don't think it will be free. I would be quite shocked but very grateful if it is free, but I am completely preparing myself to have to pay for this brand new chapter. So let's talk about what they did say about the brand new chapter. One thing they did say about this new chapter is that they are trying very hard to get a simultaneous release on console for this. So that makes me think that it is quite close to completion. We know that Matthew's already played on the map. He told us that. I think it's pretty close. Some people were saying we might see it by January 18th. I think that's a little early. Could we see it by January 25th or maybe the first week of February? Possibly. But the fact that they said that they're trying for simultaneous release makes me think that they're already in certification process with Microsoft and Sony. I might be completely off base with that, but my gut feeling is that Sony and Microsoft are already looking at this chapter, and they're waiting for Sony and Microsoft to approve it so that they can flip the switch and give it to everybody. I hope that's the case. I think it'd be very exciting to see a new chapter quite soon. So for this brand new chapter, they did give us a sneak of the killer's perk. This perk is called the Hangman's Trick, and here's the icon for it. You could argue these are masculine hands, masculine looking hands, but they would not reveal if the new killer was licensed or original or the gender of the killer. So we'll just have to wait and see. They do look like masculine hands to me. So the breakdown of how this perk works for the Hangman's Trick is that the killer will receive a notification when anyone is tampering with a hook on the map. And in addition to that, hooks that have either been sabotaged or even hooks that have already been used to sacrifice survivors will respawn in 30 seconds, 20 seconds, or even as little as 10 seconds at level 3, which is crazy because sometimes when you have people who are trying to body block and they go down in front of the hook, you could potentially hang someone up on their last hook to sacrifice them completely, and then 10 seconds later pick up that down survivor at your feet at that hook have the hook respawn, and then hang them up too. You could hang up a whole squad of 4 on the same hook potentially, which is nuts. It's an interesting perk. To me, it's a big Sabo nerf, but in my opinion, unless they're doing something on the other side of it to make Sabotage more attractive, I don't think Sabotage needed nerfing. There aren't a lot of people in the game who are doing Sabotage. I played Laurie Strode yesterday for 4 or 5 games and just did Sabo all day because I was looking at her perks. I'm like, she has Sabo level 3. I'm going to run this. And while it was fun, it's a lot of fun to drop hooks in the face of a killer. How you like that, Freddy? It also puts a big target on you and you get squashed. So I didn't survive any of those games, but I did have fun dropping 9 or 10 hooks in the face of a killer when they were trying to hang up survivors that they had down. So that was a lot of fun, but I don't know if it's necessarily a winning strategy. I think, honestly, you're much better off generator jockeying it to get out, because I spent a lot of time in those games just prepping hooks, and I wasn't really helping anybody on objectives. So I got a lot of bold points, and I had fun doing it, but I don't know that I necessarily helped my team in the same way that I would have if I had just put my head down and worked on generators. So unless they're doing something to make Sabo more attractive, I don't know that I see the need for this perk as everything stands right now. We'll see. It is... I don't know how many people are going to use it. If there aren't enough people out there sabotaging hooks, where's the incentive to use it? I don't know. But it is an interesting perk. Well, I'll have to say that. I would love to see somebody use this Hangman's Trick and hang all 4 down survivors on the same hook in the open field, not in the basement. We'll have to see. So for the survivor perk, it's called Tenacity. They wouldn't or couldn't show us the icon for this perk because it would be too spoilery. I don't know if they just mean they're not willing to reveal the survivor's gender. Perhaps the gender is visible in this perk icon. I don't know. Is it a licensed survivor? I don't think so. We'll have to wait and see, but I doubt it. I think right now we're back into original killer, original survivor mode, at least until the fall. That seems to be the pattern, is that once fall hits and people get more excited about Halloween, that's when they want to pump in the licensed content. We'll see if that stays true. My gut feeling is that it's an original survivor. I don't know for sure. I'm hoping that it's Kate Denson. Please, Kate Denson, where have you gone? Should I cue in her sounds here and blow out all your eardrums? No, I won't do that. If you don't know who Kate Denson is, back when I had the Freddy sound files that were quote-unquote leaked, there were also Kate Denson Survivor sound files. They recorded over 300 game sound files for a character named Kate Denson, who we thought would either be coming as a standalone survivor with Leatherface or paired with Freddy. Neither of those things happened. Since they had over 300 sounds recorded for Kate Denson, I never believed that they would entirely throw all of that work away. So I believe those sounds are going to come back into the game at some point, either under the name of Kate Denson as a survivor or renamed for another female survivor. If you really want to hear all the awkward sounds of Kate Denson out of game, you can look in one of my other videos. But I'm not going to play those for you here now. Anyway, back to the perk. The perk is called Tenacity. And what Tenacity allows you to do is it allows you to crawl faster and recover at the same time. What are the stats on that? Either 30, 40, or 50% faster crawling speed at level 3 Tenacity. And you will recover the same time that you are crawling. So it's going to allow you to get some distance, people have been asking for a faster crawling speed perk for quite some time, and this makes even more sense that you don't have to either make a decision, am I going to recover or am I going to crawl first? This way you can do both at the same time and more quickly. If you were to pair this with Unbreakable, well, then you could stack the recovery, I would think, and be further down the road when you want to get up. So I think that would be a pretty cool perk. We'll have to see how that plays out in the game. Kate Denson, please! Free Kate Denson, you fiends! So they did tell us that the Winter Solstice event is coming to a close. No idea when they're going to actually change everything back to normal. Probably by the end of the month, I'm guessing. And they said that Community Manager Not Queen is working on a survey to submit to us for us to participate in and give them feedback on what we liked about the winter event, what we didn't like about it, what we would like to see differently in the future. I know a lot of people were all asking for a Krampus-style killer for the holidays. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but it would be pretty cool if they could make it happen for next year. Anyway, the survey is supposed to be being compiled right now, and once I know more about that, I'll definitely share that information with you so that you can all pass your thoughts on to the team about what you want to see different in the future. Happy holidays! And then for slides, they showed us this bit that I like to call, where in the world do the highest percentage of killers come from? Which was this graph that showed, well, you need 5 people to play a game, right? So 20% of the people need to be killers. So this graph shows worldwide where the highest propensity of killers come from. And apparently Myanmar and Tunisia have the most killers, while places like Bangladesh have the fewest people who want to play killer. More people in Bangladesh play survivor. So if you need a killer, if you can't get into a game, everybody switch your region to Myanmar and you'll have a game in no time. No, don't do that. Don't do that, because the ping will be terrible and you won't have a good experience. Anyway, so they said that this graph doesn't really mean anything because, like a lot of the countries here in Africa, you had to have at least 10 players in the game to make it into the data statistically, and most of the countries in Africa have fewer than 10 players playing the game, which is crazy. But this is all just Steam-driven data, and they said it was a fluff graph, so take it with a grain of salt what you see here. But it was fun to look at, I guess. Something purty for the filler. And they were asked again, when can we please see some new cosmetics, especially those ones that were talked about in concept many months ago for David King and Feng Min, and again they went to the well with the soon, but they said there are people who are actually working on the digital side to put these into game, not just those concept drawings that we saw. So hopefully it is soon they're coming, I don't know. And I actually asked a question on the dev stream, which they read, that said, can we please see a gold and red outfit for Feng Min for the Year of the Dog in February. February 16th, I believe, begins Chinese New Year, and it's the Year of the Dog. And the way that Matthew answered it made me think they already had something planned for it. Like he said, oh, that would be interesting, wouldn't it? Like that, like something like we've already done it, but we can't confirm or deny. So I do think, again, they're going to give a nod to Chinese New Year, just the way they did last year. And we may even see another firework item. They asked a question about fireworks. Can we get fireworks put permanently into the game? And they said that yes, eventually there will be some form of firework that will be in the game permanently, but they're not ready to do that just yet. But it will come eventually. Soon. And they were asked, could we see a shadow or a silhouette of the new killer? And they said no, but then they made poses, which Matthew was like, sometimes the killer looks like this. And then Sarah said, and sometimes the killer looks like this. Which I can only think that Sarah wanted me to screen cap this and show it in this video. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Somebody said she's doing a bear pose, a bear attack pose. I'm like, how do you get bear out of this? To me, it's like you could say it's a mannequin. Hey, Esther, there's going to be mannequins in the game. There's going to be a mannequin killer. New killer is going to be a mannequin, confirmed. Sarah said so in this post. Come check it out. Anyway, so, I don't know. I have no idea why they made these poses. It's just, like, what am I supposed to take from this? I already can't even tell a silhouette of a bunny woman from Anubis, so how am I going to interpret her pose with her arms up in the air as anything of value? I thought that was just funny and trolly. So, but I'm putting it in here. There you go, Sarah. You're in the video. And they also were asked about the mist, how they've made changes in the mist to kind of help the frame rate in the game for players. They said the mist isn't exactly where they want it still, so it will be tweaked further. I'm of the opinion that we may even see mist offerings go by the wayside, the way we saw the lighting bouquets, the moon bouquets for lighting go by the wayside. They may not take it that far, but they said they are still tweaking the mist, so we'll see what comes of that. But the reason they're messing with the mist is to help, especially with console optimization, the frame rate of the game. But, man, I have seen some mist that is pretty thick in this game. When we all bring mist offerings, like, you can't see squat. And the trapper who faced our 4 mist offerings was not having a good day. He was standing up on the hill looking around, scratching his head. He could not see anybody. So we'll see where the mist goes from there. And then when they were asked about the entity and the lore, they revealed that the creation for the look of the entity was inspired by a song from a Belgian artist named Stromae. And here, if you look at this still from the video, you can see the entity elements there with those spider-like tendrils. And I'm not going to show you the whole video here, obviously, but I will have a link in the description if you want to watch the video yourself. It's the song is called Quand C'est by Stromae, and Quand C'est translates from French to when is it. But it's a very creepy video, and it has a lot of imagery that will be familiar to Dead by Daylight fans. I think it's worth checking out, and it's a catchy tune as well, so it's a win-win. Check it out. And then they went into what I'll call the filler fishbowl, where Sarah, who's also known as Bucket, had this bucket of fan-created ideas for killers and survivors, and it was like a fishbowl. And she dug around and pulled out some of her favorite ideas from Steam and Reddit, and just read them aloud to Matthew, and he had never heard any of them, so she had like a quick synopsis of these ideas. And so I'll do my own little filler fishbowl. I'm going to pump out my friend Amy, the Obsessed Illusionist's ideas. She's put 2 ideas up on the Steam community, and I'm going to pump them out here for you. They're a touch of magic with a new killer called the Ring Mistress, and Justice Delivered with a new killer called the Detective. And I have both of the links to those fan concept ideas in the description here. And I think they're worth reading. They're very well thought out and put a lot of work into them for the perks and the backstory of the characters. And you should check them out because they're very well done. And I would like to see her get. She's already had a lot of attention for these, and I'd like to see even more attention brought to these concepts to the point where DBD would take notice and either use one or both or some elements of these ideas, because I think they're worth looking at. So shout out to you, Amy, for all the hard work you put into these, because they're really cool concepts. Check them out, everybody. And while we're doing shout outs to talented people, let's check out some more of Venoman's fan custom created outfits for survivors. Look at this ace, man. This one reminds me so much of Miami Vice. I just love it with this white blazer and blue undershirt. I think that's really, really cool one. And I like this this David with the brown jacket and the striped shirt underneath. It reminds me of like a dock worker kind of an outfit. I think that one looks really cool. But this Jake one blows me away. The colors of this black and red windbreaker. Looks pretty darn cool. It just shows you like the possibilities that we could have for customization of outfits, and I know they said that the outfits are coming soon, but I have to admit I'm getting a little impatient, and I don't even care if I have to pay for the cosmetics. Just give me some more options. I just want more options, please, please, pretty please. Thank you. Well, that's all I have for you today. What are your thoughts about this chapter that we're going to tentatively call the Hangman for now until we get further information? I would say most certainly that the killer is not going to be called the Hangman, but that's all we have to go on right now, so let's just use that for the code name until we find out some more information. I'm quite excited that there's going to be a new chapter in the game. I hope you feel similarly. Share your thoughts in the comments with everyone. Let's start the discussion about this new chapter and how pumped we are for it. Happy New Year, everyone. All the best to everyone that's watching in 2018. Have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.